Hi, you guys. It is author LaQuisha Malone here. What's up? What's up? Now, I'm hoping you guys can hear me, but I want to welcome you guys to the Strawberry Lit TV and podcast show that I am trying to do here. This is definitely our very first episode, and we have a lovely guest, author Sharnel Williams, who will be here shortly. Let's see here. All right, so for tonight's show, what we're going to do is talk about some book recommendations. I had a few book trivias, but I really can't figure out where I laid those, so we're probably going to skip that for now. And then I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about is something related to publishing. And since author Charnel, with her publishing company, does anthologies, I figured we'd talk about that tonight. Um, the importance of anthologies. I have been seeing those come across very frequently, where a lot of people are doing, um, a lot of people, a lot of people are doing anthologies. So it's super exciting to have someone on who is in that field. So again, I want to welcome you guys. I am LaQuisha Malone. We are broadcasting live from our Facebook at Strawberry Lit TV. We are also broadcasting on Strawberry Lit magazine page, and we are also broadcasting on the Strawberry Lit TV YouTube page as well. So you guys can comment any questions, anything that you have that you would like to say to Charnel or the guest and or myself. And I will display that and we will talk. All right. So the first thing I want to talk before I bring Charnel on is I want to talk definitely about the publishing industry and how big it has definitely grown, which we will discuss that with Charnel as well. So when it comes down to the publishing industry, it has become so easy for people to get published and have their books out there, even develop very quality books for publishing and things like that. But one thing in publishing that is growing, like I said, is anthologies. And when you think about an anthology, it's definitely a compilation of writings or stories or inspirational something of another from a collective group of authors. Some of them have never written before. Some of them jump on trains to just build and grow their audience. So let's talk about that. When you are a new author and you want to grow or expand your following or reach or anything like that, anthologies can be a very, very, very great tool to use, because if you jump on a train of 10 other authors, you have 9 other people besides yourself who is going to promote and help market a product that will also showcase you, your writing, your story, or whatever you feel is necessary for the piece of writing. I do have a few friends who are doing a lot of anthologies right now, and I wish I could have brought them on too, or get them on here, because we got some great, great anthologies coming up for the end of the year and as well as the beginning of the year. And I am happy to say that I am on the anthology with Sharnel Williams for Charche Publishing, which is her publishing company, with the second release of A Mother's Day Nightmare, which will be book 2. So we'll talk about that as well. And so I'm going to introduce Charnel right now. So Charnel Williams is one of my dearest friends. We met some years ago via social media related to our authorship. And she is an author of several books, including a couple of children's books as well as anthologies. And she also is an author of some novels for as far as He's Black, is it He's Black, I'm White, or He's White, I'm Black? That's what it is. He's White, I'm Black. And also one that's penned for her son. Um, oh God, I forgot. I'm so sorry, Shana, I forgot your son's name. But she has a beautiful book to a pen for her son, which she will talk about that as well, which also sparked her publishing company, Charche. All right, publishing company. And she is also a host of Let's Talk To podcast, you guys. So She is a great, great, great person, a great friend, a great mother, a great wife. And I am going to bring her on, and we're going to definitely discuss all that she has going on and what's good in the publishing industry. All right. So, without further ado, I am going to bring her on right now. All right. Hey, Sharnel. Oh my gosh. Can you hear me? I cannot. Okay, I can't hear you. Do you have something plugged in? Oh, wait, wait, wait. Let's see now. Okay, so it's saying that you have muted yourself. Yes, so you're going to have to. Okay, so now are you unmuted? Yes, you are. Okay, so I still can't hear you on my end. Are you plugged into something? Oh, are you plugged into something? There you go. Wait, I heard you unplug something. Is it plugged in? Darn it. All right, so what we're going to do. Okay, so your microphone is muted again, so we're going to unmute that. All right. Oh, every time you do something, I hear you talk, and then it goes away.
Oh, let me see.
Oh,
You can hear me now?
I hear you now. We got that fixed. Sorry about that. We did get that fixed. All right, so welcome, Sharnel, to the
Wait, I look
new.
kind of welcome. I look kind of blurry, don't I? It
I'm
looks
not
dark.
sure. I'm not sure if that's on your end or not, because your video also looks like that.
Let me see. It still look blurry. Okay, let's start the show. Let's start the show.
All right. So first, I want to say thank you for being the first guest on my little TV podcasting I'm trying to do with Strawberry Lit, which is also a extension of the Strawberry Lit magazine. So thank you for being a part of my show.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So the first thing I want to jump into is I want to talk to you about you as an author. All right, so tell me a little bit about you as an author so that anyone who catches this replay or live
A
know
little
who
bit.
you are.
Could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, a little bit about myself. As you already said, my name is Sharnel Williams. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. Author, publisher, um, podcast host, and what else I do? I do so many things. So I just wanted to say that thank you for having me on the show. This is my first time. This your first time interviewing me because I always get to interview you. Now the shoe is
Yes,
on the other foot. So I'm so
it
nervous because
is.
we friends and I what could we talk about, LaQuisha?
I know, right? Definitely, definitely, definitely. As an author, so how long? I know, but how long have you been in this game and as an author? And just tell us a little bit about that very first book that you penned.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take y'all back to 2005. My son passed away from leukemia at the age of 12. It was 2 days after his birthday. I was at his funeral. Yes, the funeral. And his nurse that took care of him in the hospital came up to me and told me to tell my story, write a book. So, I looked at her crazy. And then I was like, write a book. She said, yes, tell the story. So my first book was called What Do a Mother Do? The Sharnel Williams Story. I wrote that book and I got so much good feedback on that book. I just kept writing. I can't stop writing now. So since 2005, I've been writing. My first book I published, I had to revisit the book, revise the book as y'all say it, and I did it over. So now I think I got, I don't know, over 10 books, including my
Wow.
anthologies that I done written since 2000 and let's say six.
Wow. Wow. Oh wow, 10. Now see that part I don't think I was very clear on. I didn't know you had 10 girlfriend, but
I
wow.
don't, including the anthologies.
Right. And I guess because you've done so many, I don't think about the numbers because you do them quite a few often, like a couple times a year. You do this. And I heard you say you were kind of nervous. You do not have to be nervous with me. I'm the one sitting here nervous because it's my very first time. And all right, so your first book you said you penned, it was about your son. You say
Yes.
I keep forgetting his name because I know you and I talk to you. I don't say his name much.
Shaquille.
Shaquille, and I know that. I promise I do. Shaquille. All right. So, and you penned your story about your son and what he went through and what you were going through with that. Can you tell me what feedback did you get after it was done and you redid that? Now, there's something you did because of this. What feedback did you get from that?
One feedback I got, and I would never forget, I think it was in 2007. A lady, her son passed away, had drowned in a swimming pool, and she couldn't talk about it. And she said she purchased my book. And then she started talking. She just kept looking out the window, staying in her room all the time. And once her son passed away, I think her son, if I'm not mistaken, at the time was 4 years old. When her son passed away, she read my book probably like 2 years later. And she was like, I helped her cope with it. And then I have another book called You Are Not Alone, death mourning. I don't know if I'm saying it like in the correct way, but it's called You Are Not Alone. And I wrote that book to help people, to walk people through their grieving time. And she just gave me so much good feedback. Like, it was so amazing. And then I started getting emails with people who like lost their child, wasn't like speaking upon it. And they can just, how could you say it? They can just, see, because some people can say, oh, I feel your pain. But if you never lost a child, you can't feel my pain. And through my book, I touched a lot of hearts because they felt my pain because they lost a child. And it wasn't through camp. One of them drowned. One of them, her son got shot. You understand what I'm saying? So losing a child is losing a child no matter which way or how he passed away. You still lost a child and it still hurt the mother heart.
Wow, right. To hear someone tell you that all those years later, about how that book touched them in that manner because they could feel your pain. What did that garner you to do? I know you did something related to your son.
Well, the first thing, let me tell y'all, they named a park after my son in Newark, New Jersey. It's called the Sharnel Williams Playground. Y'all closer to the North, the tri-state area, go check out that playground. It's real nice. They named the park after him, and every year we have an annual event to give back to the community. And what did I do after? I just kept on writing. I reached out. I started talking. I started my own podcast. My first podcast was supposed to be for my son, for grieving parents. It did happen though, but then everybody else wanted to get onto my podcast, and I started inviting authors. I started just making it opening for the world to come on, not just for grieving parents.
Right. Wow. So your podcast also came behind your son. Now that I did not know. So I did not know that. So congratulations on that. I know it's like that. Something tragic or something happened and something triumphant came out of it, and you're able to help a lot of people. All right. So now, my next thing with you that I want to talk about is your publishing company. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think I was there for the beginning, right?
Yes.
So tell me and the listeners about your publishing company because that also has something to do with your son.
Yes. My radio, I hope you can hear me. My radio show came first, and my publishing company, my publishing son, excuse me, is based on, you see, I'm a little nervous and tired tongued, and LaQuisha, I'm not tired tongued, but but my publishing company came after my first book. Matter of fact, I wrote a couple of books before I started my publishing company back in 2016. It was based on my radio show. Authors calling me, authors like reaching out to me, and plus I went through a publishing company myself, so I knew I can relate with other authors like getting gypped with their money, other publishing companies charging them too much. They can't speak to them during you know, they can't get their personal number. Like with my publishing company, you can get my personal number. It's just like a lot of stuff was going on, and which made me start my publishing company, that I was like, I have to give back. I have to give back to those who can't afford. Remember, for those who can't afford to write their story, because everybody has a story to tell. It's just that what directions you want to take to write your book. And my publishing company started off with, let me tell you how the title came. My son passed away named Shaquille, and my name is Shar. So Shar is for Shar. Those that don't know me don't know I had a stillborn at 9 months.
Oh,
And
wow.
her name was Varshay.
Oh,
So my publishing company means something to me. It's not just one of them made up names. You understand what I'm saying?
yes.
So I put my son Deaf and my daughter Deaf together, they names together, and it came out to Varshay Publishing.
Gotcha.
So that's how I came out with the title of my own name. And I just wanted to say that I just wanted to thank everybody, because I think my first anthology was Love, Marriage, and Divorce, which you was a part of.
Yes, that was my first experience with you in the publishing part, as being connected to you far as a business work and a book, versus trying to help you do anything else, or you helping me do anything related to publishing. And it was my first time writing a story and getting it out there, because I've got a lot written, but you pushed me to do that. So yeah, Love, Marriage, Divorce. It was your first one. Why?
I don't know. I wanted to do an anthology, and I've been getting everybody been inboxing me saying, join my anthology, join my anthology. But then when they told me the price, girl, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, I was like, wait a minute, I could do my own anthology and charge cheaper. Charge people cheaper to get their stories out. I just and I think I reached out to you. Who else was in the anthology? Rashonda and Elma. I was gonna be on it, but I didn't be on it. I wasn't on it. It was just y'all three with y'all. Oh my! If y'all haven't read that book, get that book. That book. I remember when Elma gave me her story, submitted her own story, Divorce. Was it Divorce? Elma did Divorce, right? I think it was Elma did Divorce. And I had to call Elma, was like, is you talking about yourself or not? Because her story was so real. And remind you, Elma really wasn't a writer at that time. You understand what I'm saying? She wasn't really a writer at that time. And when she said, no, Sharnel, this story is not about her, if you would have read her part, you would have thought that was a true story. You understand what I'm saying? So it made me want to write more and more and more. I want to do anthologies, but I don't want to charge people $1,500. I don't want to charge people $2,500, because people can't afford that. People shouldn't have to pay that much money to get their stories out. I'm not the one that gonna promise you that you're gonna hit the what you call that best time seller list. I'm not bringing promises to you. You understand what I'm saying? I keep it real, and LaQuisha, I keep it real. You understand what I'm saying? You have to work at what you want. And if you don't work at what you want, you're not going to get it.
I know that for a fact with you. You definitely keep it all the way real. You don't sugarcoat nothing, even with me. You ain't afraid to say it like it is. And I can say that's one of the things I do enjoy about knowing you and being your friend, is that you are like that. And you don't care to hide anything. Like, why? And that's how you always present yourself to me. So I do enjoy that realness from you in that manner. All right, so we got down to the Love, Marriage, and Divorce. That was your first anthology. So upcoming anthology. I know you got a lot of them in between, but the upcoming one, we did a Mother's Day Nightmare.
Oh, man.
And that was my first time doing something out of my comfort zone because I had never wrote anything related to suspense or thriller related or whatever. And I'm thinking I couldn't do this. But you challenged me, I guess, in a sense. And
Yeah.
I know that you do that for a lot of people, even the authors who are under your company. So about a Mother's Day Nightmare, where did that idea generate from? A Mother's Day Nightmare.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out because some of my titles come off television. Some of my, because I watch a lot of Lifetime and stuff. So, in the streets, when you out in events, you just, I can't remember where a Mother's Day Nightmare came from. All I knew is I wanted to have it out around Mother's Day. And I just wanted some type of, I always wanted to write a suspense. I was going to write it myself. That was going to be my story. But then I was like, no, the novel going to be too long. I need to get some authors in on this. I need some authors in on this book. And that's when I reached out. I reached out to you and I reached out to a couple of authors. Like, come on, this was my first suspense too. I really do, love it. I love the stories, and especially your stories, LaQuisha. LaQuisha was lost. You was lost, LaQuisha. You ain't know. You ain't know like what to write.
Yeah, no. Yes, I was definitely lost. Because it was my first time, doing something remotely to that. But I can't say I had stuff brewing inside of me. And I don't know. I hope I made it happen.
Yeah, you did make it happen. Why do you think we got part 2 coming?
Hey, I'm excited for this. I am so excited for part 2 because that's what I was getting to next is that we do have part 2 coming up for the love, marriage, and divorce. Love, marriage, divorce. A Mother's Day Nightmare part 2. So, what is your expectation for this book 2? What do you expect or hope people get from this book 2?
For book 2, I would love everybody to get out of what they didn't get out of book 1, which is a real like nightmare. I want something gloomy. I want something that the authors can really put their feelings into, like some type of suspense. And it don't have to be a fiction story. It could be now. It don't have to be. Just bring it. What I want to get out of it. It's just so much I want to get out. For me, the happiest thing to get out of doing anthologies, especially with new writers, that the joy they get receiving their books in the mail. That's what I get out of it, the happiness that they thought they couldn't do it. Like, I'm surprised. They be so happy when their name is on a book. I get that joy. I get the joy. You would have thought I wrote the books. I like A Mother's Day Nightmare was my book. Like when somebody get it in the mail, they call me, Sharnel, I got it. Or due to my authors, when they get their books in the mail, it's just the joy. That's what I get out of. It's the joy. That's all.
Gotcha. And you just challenging us to turn around and be more suspenseful
Right.
than what we already were.
Because everybody got a story to tell. Everybody got a story to tell. And it's just that we have to put it in writing. We want to hear. I want to hear your A Mother's Day Nightmare part 2. I can't wait to read it, LaQuisha.
I can't wait to read it either.
I can't wait to read. Like when I first did the first one, A Mother's Day Nightmare, the part 1, it was so amazing. Like I was like, oh my God, I can do it. We can do it. And now that I started my story for part 2, going left off where part 1 was at, yes, is leaving. I left a cliffhanger. So, and I'm just going to continue on doing it in part 2. And I just wanted to be so juicy. I
know.
I just wanted to be so juicy.
I feel you on that. And I know with book 1 for me, with A Mother's Day Nightmare part 1, I had a lot of people, they had a character they hated, which I was great. I was like, yes, you got somebody you don't like. And then, but people were like, hey, I want more of this character. And then people like, I feel for this character. You know, I relate to her. I hurt for her, but I want more. You to dive more into this character. I would love to know more. So I'm like, oh, y'all giving me a part 2 coming. So thank you. I will go more, give you more.
And
So yeah, I understand. You know, you definitely want it to be better than that first one and come a little bit harder. So that's just definitely exciting. You know that I was invited back for part 2.
I just loved it. I loved, and that wasn't the only book you was in. Them 2 books wasn't the only books you was in of my anthologies, LaQuisha.
And Love, Marriage, Divorce. We did Rebuilding Your Life. Going Forward, we did. What else did we do?
Love, Marriage, Divorce. That what you was only in 3?
So it'll be 4.
Oh, I thought, you know what? Since because we talk all the time, I thought you probably was in all of them. I don't know. I thought you was in like all of them. I don't know, but wow, you only did 3.
Yeah, so it'll be my 4th one with you, which I do sit back and look at what you have going on, and I'm like, can I do justice to that? Can I jump on that and do something great with that? And then sometimes like, well, I know you're trying to help others. So I'm like, well, let me just sit back and show my support on the outside when I put you in my magazine and your book in my magazine and things like that to help other authors, because I'm like, I know that's your goal.
Right.
So I don't try to jump on everything. I be wanting to, but I don't. Outside of your books and your publishing company, when it comes down to your radio show, we're going to go back there. How would someone be able to get on that show? Like, what are some things that you want this show to be recognized as, so far as what are you looking for when it comes down to the type of guest and audience that you need?
Well, what I'm looking for is I want everybody to not be afraid to promote their brand. Your brand is your brand, and you should be able to promote it anywhere. I get that's the part of my radio show now because it grew. I had it for years, and it is grew. It used to be about my son. Then I graduated. Then it was about authors. Then I graduated again. Now it's just about entrepreneurs. You understand what I'm saying? I want to give everybody a chance to come on and promote their brand. That's what you win, I win.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not like one of them selfish type persons that like, like you got your radio show, your podcast. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, we just starting, baby. We just
right. Yeah, but it's there. You got to start from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? You got to start from somewhere. If you don't take that leap of faith, then what? Like everybody should be able to come on your show and sell a brand to the audience or tell a story.
True. I agree. I agree. All right. So what I'm going to do really, really quick is I am finna bring out my book recommendation. So I'm going to be right back with you. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to continue with our friendship.
Okay.
All right. All right. So that's where I'm finna start at right now. All right, you guys. So giving Sharnel a quick break, I want to break off myself. And what I want to talk about is our book recommendation. So on the show, I want to provide some sort of book recommendation to authors to help us out. Because at the end of the day, you have to study your craft to get better at your craft. And that's anything that you do, whether it's acting, whether it's music, it kind of doesn't matter. You kind of have to study the craft. So I want to present books that are going to help us further our authorship, business, whatever the case may be. So my first book recommendation for today is going to be a book by one of an authors that I love. She's kind of new to me, right? And so I'm gonna show you guys her right now. So this book here It's called Creating Character Arcs, and it's by K.M. Wyland. Okay, you guys, I'm going to put that up here too so you guys can know. All right, so this book here, and I'm sorry, I had a photo I was going to use, y'all, but today just wasn't that day. Okay, we'll try it again on another day. But this book, if you are an author and you are someone who wants to dive deep and really, really develop your characters further or anything like that, this is a really, really, really good book to start doing that. It, as you can see, it's not something thing. There's also a workbook that goes with this. She asks very good questions to think about when it comes down to your major characters, your minor characters, or anything like that. So it is called Creating Character Arcs, the masterful author's guide to uniting story structure, plot, and character development. Okay, you guys, so go get this right here. All right. So the reason why I want to recommend this for the first show is because I have been listening to a lot of people, and sometimes I hear people in these groups and they talk about how sometimes authors' characters are not pretty well developed. And I'm like, wow, I began to research. Okay, so when you want a character to be very well developed, what is something that you would look for? What's something that you would think about when it comes down to a uh, author needing to develop their character? And I found this book on Amazon and was like, wow, this is a really, really, really good book. And I want other people to know about it. So again, Creating Character Arc by K.M. Wyland. If you would like to check this out, please do so. It is on Amazon. This is where I got it from. And there is a workbook. As I said, she asks really, really great questions to help you do that and dive deep. It really makes you think past the normal, what they look like, what they do for a living. It goes past, you know, your normal, just sit down and write. So what she does is when she asks you these deep, deep questions about your character, far as how to move the story and the plot along, it really, really makes you think. And one of the big questions that she asks, I like to think about, is what is your character's lie? And I never thought about that when writing, but what is your character's lie? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you definitely have got to get this book, y'all. All right. What is your character's lie? What is your character's lie? That's my favorite question that she always asks that makes me really, really dive deep and think. So that is my first book recommendation for you guys. I got it up on the screen right here. It is Creating Character Arc by K.M. Wyland. All right, so we're going to go back to Miss Sharnel Williams. We're going to bring her back on if she's ready. And let's see. Let's get her back up here, you guys. All right, Sharnel. Quick break.
Hello.
And we are back. All right, so when I just talked about creating character arcs, and I showed a book that I feel is a really, really, really great book to help people develop their characters. So not saying or knowing how you actually do your writing, but when it comes down to developing your characters or thinking about the type of character you want to put into these different books that you write, what is your process? How do you go about doing that for you?
Okay, my process. It's several process I have. For one thing, I watch a lot of movies. So by me, and I observe movies. I watch a lot of movies. My characters, like this book, I just thought about it. It's too early to give out my title now, but I want to do another anthology, and I already written down 2 characters names already. The characters I want, and I go about getting my characters. It depends. I'm a comedian. I love comedian, so I want my book. I don't want it just to make you sad. I want you to laugh. I want to throw, like my other book, I'm Black, He's White. I throw a little bit of a comedy inside that book. I want you to laugh too, because I don't think all stories, like my son book, it shouldn't all be sad. You understand what I'm saying? So I look for different characters. It depends on the title of my book I'm gonna write. It depends on what type of characters I want. And the names come from all over. I just got a name I was in the store in Walmart shopping, and I heard a lady call her daughter name. I was like, oh, that's a good character name for my.
That too. I do the same thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wrote her name down. That's gonna be one of my characters, So
Right.
It's so many ways like a writer can
Yeah.
go into getting characters and what type of characters you want. There's so many different avenues out here that people can just go, oh, my thing. Excuse me, Quisha, because it look clearer now. My own thing.
It does. It does. That little break did it. I think it's the break.
Yeah. So it's so many ways that people can go about getting a character. Sometimes the name might can just pop up in your mind,
Yeah.
So there's so many ways, there's so many avenues you can take for as characters.
All right. So let's talk about how you, when it comes down to your anthologies, how do you pick your people for that? I know you have an anthology coming up, and I know it's not your last one. I'm pretty sure 2022 is filled with even more. Because if I'm not mistaken, you're promoting this Mother's Day Nightmare Part 2, but you are also promoting another one as well. If I'm not mistaken, there's another one I think you're trying to get a couple more for. It's like a little white girl on there, and
No, that's my old one. That's called that was I can't how I'm gonna forget the title of my book, Empowering Girls. That already came out, Quisha.
Oh, so you put that one out. Well, I thought I saw two. Wasn't it two that you were just doing? Listen, I'm not crazy.
I just put out I Survived My Past.
Okay, that's so you just put another one out.
That's the one I just put out just before, no, right after A Mother's Day Nightmare Part 1. Then I Will Survive. Now Part 2 is coming.
All right. Well, that's super exciting. So how do you pick your authors for that? What's your process?
My process is, and please forgive me because you don't have to be an author to join. I love to give everybody a chance and a challenge. That's my goal. You never written before. You don't have to have 10 books to join my anthologies. I look for those. I do ask questions because I got an email the other day and the lady was like, well, I thought you said I ain't had to be an author. No, you don't. But I want to know, because I got to know where I got to be at. When it come down to you sending me the manuscript, is this an author that written before, or is this a first timer? And sometimes you can look at a manuscript and tell it's a first timer, but I would like to know ahead of time. So the authors is it just basically, I like to know a little bit about the authors. I like to go in, if they wrote books before, I go and Google their names, Google, it's a lot behind my process of joining my anthology. But it's just that I don't have no particular author. You just got to be willing to put 100%. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to write. That's all. Willing. Stand behind what you believe in. If you believe in that you can get that manuscript out, if you want a book, you can do it. Just you got to put 100%.
Gotcha. I definitely know you on that level of having to put 100%. Because sometimes you work with people, and some people, they are ready but they're not, and that's okay.
No, it ain't the point that they not ready, they scared. It's a difference.
That's true.
It's a difference. They scared.
I call that the naked feeling, because you're really scared to put out something and have people in your head and kind of know, like, everybody, all eyes are on my work, all eyes are on me, and it's that feeling, and that's part of it is a part of writer's block, because you feel exposed when you put your work out there.
But sometimes, I just had a conference with this lady the other day. Sometimes everybody is in your head, the naysayers, telling you what you should do, what you should write. And LaQuisha, I'm being honest. How somebody going to tell you how to write your characters, how to do your work, and they never written a book before? You understand what I'm saying? And people putting all this stuff in your head. And sometimes people go by what other people say.
Mm-hmm.
I say your vision is your vision.
True.
Stop telling me, well, this person read my manuscript and said I should take this out. And a good thing, I hope Elma listening, because Elma did this to me. Elma, I want to explain, and I hope you're feeling better, but Elma is one of my clients. And she did this to me. She called me. She wanted to take a part out of her book, one of her stories, I don't know if it was a whole chapter. She wanted to take something out because her church, because of the church people. They was getting on her, telling her like different things about her book that, she's a ministry and she shouldn't be writing stuff like that. It's people that get in your head and tell you what you should not and should not. How could they judge you? Only you have one judge, and that's God. You understand what I'm saying? So when Alma book came out, I forgot what book, Alma. I hope you're listening because I forgot what book it was. And you was like, Sharnel, could you just take that part out? I was like, no, I ain't taking that part out. That's like the best part. I was like, no, I'm not taking that part out. Then she started telling me about the ladies at her church and stuff. I was like, we're not doing that. That is going to stay in there. And it stood in there. So everybody, and then people don't know you can get promotion from anybody. People talk bad about you or bad about your work. That's promotion because you know why? Like LaQuisha, if I'm talking bad about a book you just did, people curious. We are so curious about why is she talking so bad about it. I got to get this book. Let me get this book and read this book and see what she's talking about. Bing, ding, dong, what? Your book just sold. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, different ways, like your book can sell. People can talk bad about it. People can talk book because it's always somebody is curious about what somebody said. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover, and you just gotta just roll with it. Stop having and I tell my clients all the time, stop having everybody in your ear. Your vision is your vision. Your vision is not mommy vision, daddy vision, or your brother or your sisters or your cousin vision. Your vision is your vision, and go by your vision.
That you're doing by making people feel basically unapologetic for what you're trying to say is a good thing. It goes right back to the character of who you are and why you do what you do.
Thank you.
Yep. So go, girl. I'm over here promoting, girl. I'm so sorry. So now let's see how we got like 15 more minutes. So in these last few minutes that we have, is there anything that you want the audience to know? What you want, anything you want them to do? Because I know you have, with your website and everything. Can you kind of? I've been trying to put a few connections, but can you kind of tell us where we can reach you, where all you are?
Okay. For first, let me just shout this out. I'm having an event on Women's Empowerment Luncheon in May the 7th, 2002 in Newark, New Jersey. I'm still looking for vendors. I think I need like 2 or 3 more vendors. I got to look at my paperwork and see, but I'm still looking for vendors for that. The tickets on sale. The early bird special tickets is on sale now. You go to Invite Bright, or you can go on my page because I really don't know. I'm be honest with y'all, I don't know the website by heart. So all you got to do is go look on my page, and you will see if you want to catch the early bird special. And that's my event that I have every year. This is my 5th annual, and it's called Women's Empowerment Luncheon. Now, getting back to my site, that y'all can reach me. Y'all want to purchase some books? Y'all can go to author.sharnelwilliams.com. Y'all can if y'all want to be a part of my publishing company, which I'm changing a lot. It's growing and I'm changing. You can email me at sspublishingcompany@gmail.com. And Facebook, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can easily reach out to me. You can easily
So,
reach out to me.
so with I'm sorry to cut that off, but with your publishing company and the changes in the things that you have that you're doing now, what are some of those changes that we probably can expect from Sharshay?
Well, some of the changes that I'm starting with, I'm starting and I'm bringing this because I was telling my friend this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing now with my company starting January 1st, no contract. You heard of the phone companies like AT&T, Verizon, they do no contracts now. So instead of having that 2-year contract and you just want to write a book without a contract, you want to have a contract, but it ain't going to be no 2-year contract. I can just write your book and, do what I got to do with your book and stuff. And you'll just go on your merry way. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm starting no contracts January 1st. My
Okay.
second thing I'm doing, my price is going to stay the same because I think my prices is really affordable.
Yeah.
I really believe. What you think, Quisha? I
I
think
think
they very
I think your prices are affordable. When you think about different companies out there that's charging way more and you're getting way less, I mean, I think your prices are affordable
right
for
and
for what you give them.
right. So my price is not going to change no time soon. My price is going to be the same prices that I had for a couple of months now. So that's not going to change. But far as making my company bigger, far as like doing more promotions, getting my clients to do their own website to promote more,
Mhm.
it's just like I feel as though my company is a family and we have to work together. If
Got
we don't work together, ain't nothing going to be done as far as growing. And I want my authors to grow just like I want to grow.
right.
So, and that's going to be the thing change. I'm trying to, slide in a little and make my authors grow so they can have their own websites, get their own, have their own everything, get their own. They don't have to go through Amazon. They don't have to go through Amazon to publish their books. There's a lot of venues out there they can publish it. I'm just trying to bring them on their own. I want my publishing company. I want people to come to me and God forbid if I pass away tomorrow, I want people to know who Sharnel Williams was and what the good that Sharnel Williams and her company do for others.
Whether it's through publishing or not.
Right.
So you do a lot of good. So that there is going to conclude because I'm so happy that you were here and I'm
Me
finna shut
too. So excited.
it. So I'm definitely about to shut it down. So what I'm going to do is give tribute to my sponsors. I'm going to say thank you, Chanel, for being on the show. Again, you guys can reach her at ArthurSharnelWilliams.com. You can also reach her on IG at Arthur Charnel. You can also reach her at her publishing company, sspublishingcompany.com. I think that's what it is. So thank you, Chanel.
You're
And
welcome.
I can't wait to talk to you after this because you know that's what I'm going to do.
I'll be waiting for your phone call. All
All right, ma'am. You have a
right.
great day.
Bye. Enjoy.
All right. All right, you guys. So I am so excited. We just finished interviewing Sharnel Williams and great inspirational person and a lot of helpful information. So I hope you guys took some of them nuggets that she gave as well as be on the lookout for her upcoming event as well as the upcoming book. All right, so I want to give a shout out to my sponsors here, and y'all, I'm trying to find their imagery and stuff, but that's kind of hard right now. But my first sponsor that I want to give tribute to will be an author, Adrian L. Edwards. I have to say thank you so much, Adrian, for everything that you have done here with Strawberry Lit TV, making sure that this episode gets what it needs here. So thank you so much for that. I'm gonna show you guys her hold on y'all. All right, so I want to say thank you to her. And also she also did a sponsor with her clothing line. This is kind of geared toward her authorship as well. And that will be DBM Collection. All right, you guys, so I want to say thank you to her for sponsoring the show as well. You guys, I also want to say thank you to her clothing company. All right, so y'all enjoy the rest. This last little bit, I'm gonna show you guys their logos, and I will see you guys next week. Next week, though, we will have Adrian. Actually, she will be here for next week, next Saturday on December 11th at 12 p.m. She will be one of our guests as well. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed one. Bye.